The trails west were a very sad and scary time. Thousands of people died for many different reasons, like from diseases, from animals, wagons crashing on them,
Boom!
and even cannibalism. The many trails that spread from East Coast to the West Coast were just one part of the story of Manifest Destiny. This was the belief that U.S. should extend from across North America. The trails to the west and the people that traveled the trails helped make our country the way it is today. This is the story of The Trails West in plain English by Chase, Elizabeth, Dustyne, and Tyler. In the 1800s, mountain men were the first Americans to head west. The mountain men spent most of their time alone, trapping small animals such as beavers. People from the east wanted beavers for hats, because that was the fashion at the time. To obtain furs, mountain men roamed the Great Plains and the far west, the regions between the Mississippi River and the Pacific Ocean, and set traps in the icy streams between the Mississippi and the Pacific. During the height of the fur trade, mountain men worked so hard on some streams that it killed off most of the animals. This forced most of the trappers to search for new streams. The mountain men's exploration provided them with the knowledge of the West. The knowledge gave the pioneers an advantage for the move west.
The Mormons were a religious group of pioneers. The Mormons did well because they lived in close communities, worked hard, and shared goods. Although the Mormons were very successful, they did make some enemies. Some people didn't like their teachings. They didn't like that they allowed the men to have more than one wife. They also didn't like that they shared everything in their houses and food. A man named Joseph Smith founded in the church in upstate New York in 1830. In 1844, an anti-mob in Illinois killed Joseph Smith. After that, Brigham Young became the leader and who moved his people out of the United States. He hoped that if he brought his people to Utah, they could practice their religion in peace. In 1847, about 1,600 brave Mormons headed down the Oregon Trail to Utah. Once they got there, they built a new settlement near Great Salt Lake City. Utah had little rainfall, so the Mormons had to work hard to make dams and canals so they could have fresh water. The dams and canals carried water from the farms in the valley below the settlement. Because of their hard work and excellent teamwork, they made a desert bloom with crops. Hundreds of other pioneers started heading west down the Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail ran from present-day Missouri to Kansas. From there, they traveled to Nebraska all the way to Wyoming. After that, they went to Idaho and they ended their journey in Oregon. Many traveled this trail. Some of them were missionaries spreading religion, like Marcus and Narcissa Whitman in 1836. Others were in just search of a better life in Oregon Territory.
Pioneers spread to the southwest as well. In 1821, Mexico gained independence from Spain. A Missouri trader, William Becknell, set out with hardware, cloth, china for Santa Fe, New Mexico. This started the Santa Fe Trail. The Santa Fe Trail started in present-day Missouri, going through present-day Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and ending in New Mexico. The California Trail in 1850 went from present-day Missouri into Kansas. Then it went through Nebraska, Wyoming, Utah, across Nevada, and into California. If the brave pioneers didn't make it through the Sierra Nevada mountains before snow fell, they could find themselves face to face with death. Sadly, the Donner Party was one of the groups that met death on the frigid winter in 1846.
On April 9th, 1846, 9 covered wagons left Springfield, Illinois on a 2,500-mile journey on the California Trail. Little did they know that they would end up being the biggest westward movement tragedies. A family that was called the Donner Party tried to take a shortcut through unfamiliar land. They had heard from some people with a shortcut with lots of time off their journey. It really ended up adding lots of time. When they were going through the land, one of their axles broke. They were stranded in the Sahara Nevada mountains with little food, not enough warm clothes, and snow on the ground. They were stranded for 3 months. First they ran out of food, so they ate their horses. Then they were completely out of food and starving. They had to make a very hard decision. They thought if they sacrificed a few people and ate them, they would then survive. So they did eat a few people, and few of them actually did survive. If it wasn't for these thousands of brave men, women, and children spreading west in the 1800s, the United States would not look the way it does today. They would not fully realize our manifest destiny. Dun dun dun.